Well, Angela Dean is back again, and this time this one is a very interesting one because this article here covers a massive bombshell revealed by Angela. Now it says in the first paragraph here, Angela dropped a bombshell about the TLC show as part of her divorce war with her estranged husband Michael. This is something that In Touch was able to exclusively report on. Now it does say that on March 20th, Angela filed responses obtained by In Touch to a list of statements that Michael, 36, wanted her to admit or deny. The list of questions that Michael asked Angela was not filed publicly, but Angela's answers reveal details of their relationship and the reality show. So we are about to find things out that literally was a part of the show but wasn't actually reality according to Angela Dean. So in this one here, it says that in one answer, Angela said she denies that Angela and Michael engaged in sexual activity within the United States. The two wed in 2020 and Michael moved to America in late 2023. He fled the home weeks later, which is something that we are very aware of. But also continues by saying in court documents, Michael claimed the couple had physically consummated the marriage. This is something that Angela, I believe, is trying to deny. Now, it says here that another answer from Angela read, Angela denies the matter set forth in this request. TLC Production created this product using snippets of our productions. So, Angela's saying that TLC are the one that put the clips together and made it seem as if her and Michael had obviously been physically intimate when in reality, according to her, they had not. Because of course, we know that once you sleep together, that means your marriage is not being consummated, and that's something that can potentially work against Angela within this divorce/annulment case, from my understanding. But it also says an additional answer read, Angela denies the matter set forth in this request as this was a TLC scripted scene, and Michael is actually aware this was a TLC scripted scene. Interesting. So this obviously gives us somewhat of a confirmation that, or something that we already know, that TLC can be scripted. But to be fair, customers have never said it's scripted. They've said that they push us in directions to say said things, and they put us in scenarios to make us say said things for their benefit. But hey, let's have a look here. Michael also asked Angela to admit she made an unknown statement, but she said, I do not recall saying this. Angela provided another answer to a question from Michael by writing, Angela denies the matter set forth in this request. And by way of further answer, Michael would produce multiple reasons why he preferred to sleep on the couch. In regard to her career, with Michael demanding support in the case, of course he did, of course he is. Angela said she had not made any revenue from any appearances in the past 2 to 3 years. She also said that she has zero control with regard to the actions of multinational television network. I mean, I don't know how she would have made no earnings in the past 2-3 years, given that she was on the show. So that doesn't make sense. And Angela wouldn't go back on the show if they wasn't paying her something. So that is very, very interesting that she says that, unless she hasn't been filing her taxes properly to avoid, a tax. But you never know. It does continue here by saying Angela also admitted she contacted Michael on the phone once for the sole purpose of his step-granddaughter seeking to speak to her step-grandfather, as her tender age would not let understanding to her of his abandonment of our family. I mean, to be fair, the kids were pretty much massively fond of Michael, so I can understand for them finally meeting Michael after so many years and then him running away so quickly. So I can definitely imagine how much that can affect a child and why a child would want to have that conversation and how the child can feel abandonment. But at the same time, though, we don't know if that's true for sure, because Angela's not the type of person who say anything to get her own way. But also Angela has to understand that she also is the one that would have she's the one that would have put those kids, her grandkids, in a position of abandonment, because she carried on a relationship with Michael that was never healthy. But either way, it continues here by saying the divorce has yet to be finalized. As In Touch previously reported, Angela filed for annulment on June 20th, 2024 in Georgia court. Angela and Michael would wed on January 26, 2020 in Nigeria. The parties have continuously lived in a state of separation for 30 days preceding this filing. Angela's petition read. Now we continue here where it says, in her filing, my apologies, in her filing, Angela argued an annulment was proper due to Michael fraudulently inducing her into a marriage for the purpose of gaining legal permanent residence status in the United States. After Michael abandoned Angela, Angela discovered that Michael was engaged in a conspiracy with other Nigerian men to induce US citizens into marriage for the purpose of gaining legal permanent residence status, the filing read. But this is something that Angela discovered before Michael even came to America, and she was in a position where she could have stopped him coming. In fact, in that season, she was threatening to not going through with everything because of what she found out. But she decided to continue being with him regardless. So at the end of the day, Angela, you put yourself in this position, and that is on tape. Literally nationwide. And videotape, just to make that clear. But with that being said though, Angela told the court that there was no joint property or joint debts to be divided. She requested her last name change from Asani back to Deem. Interesting. So she also had a name change. Not everyone does that, but let's continue. At the time of his disappearance, Angela claimed she could not find Michael. She said he moved to America in December 23 and lived under her until February 1st, 2024. Very, very short period of time. Now, it also says here that in the 90 days, Michael responds to Angela Deem's annulment and asks for spousal support, which of course he would. Why wouldn't he? In a court declaration, Angela said a diligent search has been made and Michael cannot be found within the state. I do not know where Michael lives or where Michael can be found. I believe Michael now resides in Texas, but that's the rumor anyway. Angela said Michael is not from this country and that she did not have contacts for his family in Nigeria. A judge signed off Angela's request to serve Michael via an alternative method. Michael responded to the divorce weeks later. He denied Angela was entitled to an annulment. He also denied he committed any fraud to induce her into marrying him or that he abandoned her. Michael claimed something that we saw for years on TV, and that's something that, to be honest with you, Angela Deem cannot deny, unless there's some sort of taping that we have, or unless TLC come forward and they say that the abuse was never real and we just made her do it on screen just for entertainment. That's the only way I can see them ruling out what we've seen on the TV. Do you see what I'm saying? But 90 Day would never do that, because therefore they'll be shooting themselves in the foot. So yeah, Angela, you're screwed because you did the madness that you should have never done. He filed a counter petition for divorce. Michael listed the date of separation as February 23rd, 2024. He said the marriage was I can't say the bloody word, my apologies, my star's coming in place, but you can see it there, broken, with no hope for a reconciliation. Michael accused Angela of physical and mental abuse during the marriage. He said the abuse occurred both privately and publicly, and this abuse was documented while they filmed reality shows. He said this abuse is largely what led to the parties separating in February 2024. When Michael fled the metro residence, Michael said there was a substantial disparity. I do apologize. Anyway, I'm gonna carry on. Income between them. Okay, substantial in disparity. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, he added he was unable to meet his financial needs without continued financial support from Angela. He asked the court to award him monthly spousal support and equitable division of property that acquired during the marriage. Michael and Angela, who have a 22-year-old age gap, first appeared on 90 Day Fiance in 2018. Okay, and I believe this is that's it. They shared a long-distance relationship with fans on multiple spin-offs of the TLC show. The process for Michael to get his visa took years, and the distance often caused them issues in their relationship. So that is literally everything that has gone down recently within their court situation. I do apologize for my reading at times when my literal style wouldn't let me speak. My apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm sure some of you folks are new to it. If you're new to the channel, well, here you are. Now, with that being said, let me know your thoughts on the matters in particular. Obviously, this is nothing but an update on what has been going on recently with Michael and Angela. And for me personally, I'm gonna say that this doesn't necessarily say who's winning the court case right now. To be honest with you, I feel like it's just telling us exactly where they are, and obviously what needs to happen next. So let me know your thoughts, and we can talk about it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.